So, Wish. It's no secret that Disney's 100th anniversary movie is far from their most beloved title. However, I found myself the outlier for this opinion because I really loved Wish. I thought it was one of the most enchanting things I'd seen on the big screen. So much so that I actually consider it to be one of Disney's best contemporary films. It's my Black Cauldron, my Treasure Planet, my Atlantis the Lost Empire. There's so much that I adore about this title, and I want to talk about all those adorations. Wish follows a 17-year-old girl named Asha living in Roses, a city ruled by the well-adored King Magnifico. When the citizens turn 18 or are older, they give the king their wishes for safekeeping, forgetting their wishes once they do so. And every month, the king picks one wish to grant in a ceremony. However, when Asha discovers that most of the wishes will never be granted, and King Magnifico intentionally keeps them captive in order to stay in power,
you make it so they forget the most beautiful part of themselves. And they don't know what they're missing.
She wishes on a star to help her, and that star comes down and helps Asha return the wishes of Roses to their rightful owners. Wish's main theme is about how important wishes are, especially the wish that, if I may borrow an idea from another Disney movie called Soul, gives you your spark. As Asha herself describes it,
not just any wish, of course. The one that drives your heart. The one that makes you who you are.
This importance is doubled down when Magnifico invites Asha to see the wishes with him, and they have this exchange.
I didn't expect them to be so alive.
Yes. Oh, they are a part of your heart.
A part of your heart. From playing the violin to exploring new lands to sailing the seven seas, wishes are such a joyous and personal thing that they're an integral part of your being. Just look at the way Asha looks at her grandfather's wish, hoping it'll finally be granted on his 100th birthday.
It's my Saba Subino's wish. It's his birthday today, and he's 100 years old.
Or how she lovingly describes that wish to her Saba Sabino after finding out it'll never be granted.
And you should know what it is.
No.
But it's so beautiful.
Knowing his wish has changed the way Asha sees her grandfather, it now being in a deeper light. And seeing all the wishes has changed the way she looks at the people of Roses. They're not just storekeepers or fellow townsfolk anymore. They're people with dreams, passions, and aspirations. There's so much more to them than what Asha sees on the surface. I especially like how this woman's wish is to fly, which is why she loves being around birds, even if she can't remember her wish. The things you're passionate about don't just give you ways to pass the time. They greatly inform what you gravitate towards and who you are. And I think the best way I can illustrate all that is to tell you about my own wish. Ever since I was a kid, I have loved stories. Children's and fantasy ones, especially. I grew up reading books like Fablehaven, Dealing with Dragons, and Love and Thumps. And I replayed movies like Bridget Terabithia and Coraline so many times, it's a miracle my DVDs of them still work. That love for fiction has followed me all throughout my life, to the point where I can't imagine who I am without it. I made friends during book signing events. I traveled long distances just to see specific movies. And even now, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about stories, whether that be from a book or a movie or a video game. So it probably won't surprise you that one of my biggest wishes is to become a professional storyteller. I wrote my first story when I was 8, and since then, I've written story after story after story. From short ones to scripts to novellas and novels, and I don't ever want to stop. No matter how many times I've done it, the process still amazes me. This is something Wish understands too, because when Asha sees the wishes for the second time, her awe still hasn't dwindled. She's still in amazement at the sight of them. I would be too. And she even says this to Star, who's seeing them for the first time.
I'm glad you are having fun, but you have to focus.
It's a clear indicator of how incredible Asha understands these wishes are, as she fully gets the excitement Star is feeling right now. And if wishes are this important, then the film also highlights how sorrowful it is to live without them. Early in the movie, two new citizens give their wish to King Magnifico, and the look on their faces as they do so is just heart-wrenching. They've given up a part of themselves due to blind hope, and they don't even remember what that part is. All they feel is an absence. One of Asha's friends, Simon, has already given his wish, and the film points out how much Simon has changed since then.
When you give your wish to the king, you don't want to have to end up like Simon here, do you?
Huh? What's wrong with Simon here?
I don't know. You're kind of boring now.
Do you all think that?
No, not boring. Just
calmer.
Oh.
And when Star meets all of Asha's friends, it instantly knows something is missing from Simon.
What? Well, why am I making you sad?
Oh, Simon's 18. He's already given his wish to the king.
Huh.
Both Star and Simon's reactions speak volumes on how empty it feels to live without a wish. Even Sawa's reaction to knowing his wish will never be granted is heartbreaking.
He said it's too dangerous to grant.
My wish is dangerous?
No, that's the thing. I don't think it is at all.
Well, clearly, Magnifico feels otherwise, so...
Saba, what gives him the right to decide?
He is the king, and he has made everything possible for us.
His dependence on Magnifico has convinced him not to even question it when the king says his wish doesn't deserve to be granted, and he just accepts that he has no other possible fate. Heck, before this conversation begins, Asha's mom tells Saba this after he wasn't chosen for the wish ceremony.
And Saba, there's always next time.
Cheers to that.
No, not cheers to that. The time Saba wastes over depending on the king could be time spent going out there and making his dream come true himself. However, given how hard that journey is, it's understandable why he and the people of Rosas depend on the king so much. As Magnifico says so himself,
People come here because they know they can't make their own dreams come true. The journey is too hard, it is too unfair. They give their wishes to me willingly, and I make it so they forget their worries.
making a wish come true is incredibly difficult. There's so much effort you need to give, and yet so much uncertainty with factors you just can't control. As a writer, I have no idea if people will like my stories or not. I have no idea if they'll take the time to read them. I feel lucky that you're watching my video right now. But no matter what, I wouldn't give up my wish for the world. It's like what Saba Sabina says when he gets his wish back.
Oh, Asha, I may never actually inspire anybody, but now at least I have the chance to try.
Even if nobody ever reads any of my future stories, I still want to write them. I love the journey too much. I may never write anything that finds a big audience, but at least I have the chance to write. And I'll cherish the people who took the time to read my works, however few they may be. It's greatly heartwarming when Magnifico is defeated and everyone gets their wishes back, especially because of the way they all greet them.
This feeling.
Come home.
There you are.
There you are. Come home. Your wish is such an essential part of you, even just thinking about its presence feels like home. The ending also includes this scene where Queen Amaya talks to the woman who wishes to fly.
I hear you long to fly. Well, Peter here wants to build a flying machine.
Hi.
You two should work together. Let me know how I can help.
Both their wishes seemed impossible, but as it turns out, there are ways to make it happen, even if it's not exactly how the woman imagined it. You don't need great sorcery or high magic to make your wishes come true. Even the most outlandish can be achieved, as long as you've got the willpower and determination to try. Asha isn't a Disney princess, but if she was, she'd be my favorite alongside Merida. I find her upbeat, bubbly personality so endearing, as well as her occasional moments of awkwardness. But it's her kind and open heart that makes me love her the most. She genuinely cares about the people in her life, and her empathy towards Rosas is what drives her to begin her journey in the first place. She's just a sweet, good-natured, caring young protagonist, whose determination makes her incredibly easy to root for. I also love how Wish emphasizes more than one relationship that Asha has. In Tangled, Rapunzel's relationship with Flynn took center stage, and so did Elsa's relationship with Anna in Frozen. But Wish gives such strong importance to just about every close being in Asha's life. This isn't the fault Tangled and Frozen for those mentioned things, of course, as their stories revolved around those relationships. But it's refreshing to see Wish's story have Asha form solid relationships with so many people around her. Throughout the film, Asha shows her love interest to Star, Valentino, her Saba and her mom, her best friend and her friends, and even the Queen. Asha must depend on all of them if she plans on defeating King Magnifico. And in the end, it's not just her saving the day, but everyone in Rosas coming together. I also love how Asha is given friends in this movie. Characters like Merida, Moana, and Mirabel seem completely friendless despite having lived in their kingdom, island, or town their whole lives. Considering that, it's rather unbelievable that these protagonists only have their families to fall back on. Asha's friend group adds a welcome sense of familiarity and history to both Asha and Rosas. And unlike Strange World, where the group appears for all of 5 seconds, Asha's friends actually help her out and join her to defeat Magnifico. The triumphant ending wouldn't have been possible without them. The exception here, of course, is Simon, who rats Asha out to the king. But Wish never paints Simon as evil because of it. Simon is motivated to betray Asha both after his encounter with Star and after Magnifico promises this.
Whoever identifies the traitor, your wish will be granted.
You combine his young age, him having recently lost his wish, the emptiness he feels, and the fear of that never going away, and while it was awful to do, I completely understand why he would do such a thing to Asha, and why I'm glad Asha forgave him in the end.
I was just so scared I'd have to live without, well, all of me. And I wanted so badly to believe in him.
So did I.
We all did.
Of course, a Disney protagonist is nothing without their adorable sidekick, and Asha has two with Valentino and Star. Valentino is an absolutely vibrant animal sidekick, but the one I want to focus on is Star, who won me over the minute it showed up on screen. Star is playful, funny, loving, and cute as all heck, with all the childlike wonder you could want from such a character. It's impressive how much personality they gave this non-verbal character through visual means alone, that ball of yarn and the things crafted from it being a stellar touch. And it's genuinely affecting when Asha learns she must soon say goodbye to Star.
Oh no. I know you too well now. You're going soon, aren't you? So you can be there for others to wish upon.
Another thing that classic Disney protagonists had was a worthy opponent. And one of the things that made people initially excited over Wish was the return of the evil Disney villain in the form of King Magnifico. I found Magnifico to be an utterly delightful antagonist. What an absolute jerk. This man made Asha watch, on stage, as he blatantly raised Saba's hopes in the wish ceremony.
That I grant today's wish to someone who has very patiently waited long enough.
Only to utterly crush them.
Tanya Osman! Where is Sonya?
But of course, he does this and all his evil deeds with such suave style. It's so much fun to hate him when he's so damn debonair. I even have his Funko Pop. Look how cute it is. The character I found myself surprisingly really liking though was Queen Amaya, who's every bit as rootable as Asha on the quest to defeat Magnifico. I adore the caring relationships Amaya forms with both Asha and Dahlia throughout the film, the three of them even sharing a hug by the end. And Amaya's response to Magnifico demanding to be let out is so damn satisfying, it makes me glad for the king's fate even more.
Do you see what they've done to me?
Well, you do love mirrors.
This is the thanks I get?
This is the thanks you deserve. Hang it on the wall. In the dungeon.
There isn't a single character I dislike in Wish, and every watch makes me excited to spend time with these wonderful characters all over again. There's this Neil Gaiman quote that I think describes Wish incredibly well. Fairy tales are more than true. Not because they tell us dragons exist, but because they tell us dragons can be beaten. One of my favorite things about Wish is how unembarrassed it is to be a fairy tale, right from its very beginning. The film starts with an opening of a storybook. Unlike Shrek or Chicken Little though, there's nothing sarcastic about this opening. There aren't any fourth wall breaks throughout the film either.
Hi.
Or self-aware jokes about its Disney nature.
If you wear a dress and you have an animal sidekick, you're a princess.
Or meta moments about its musical numbers.
If you start singing, I'm gonna throw up.
Wish's biggest strength comes from how wholly non-cynical it is. This is a fairy tale musical through and through, and an immensely enchanting one at that. This can be quickly seen from the animation alone, which is refreshingly not Disney trying to look as real as possible, but instead the filmmakers finding a look that perfectly matches the narrative they're telling. The storybook visuals married with Wish's simple fantasy story make for such a nostalgic experience. And many times while watching, I felt like I was lying in bed with the lamp still on, flipping through the pages of a fairy tale. I'm especially glad I saw this one in theaters, because Disney magic was just pouring out of the big screen and flooding the entire cinema. Several scenes were highly transporting. I was there in the forest with the characters when they were singing about being stars. I felt the same wonder they felt when that blast of light suddenly shined through, and I was flying with them on books when they were trying to free their wishes from the king's study. Wish's music is also fantastic, with one of my favorite songs being At All Costs. The song Asha and Magnifico sing when they're marveling at the wishes together. The lyrics go, "Promise as one does, I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms." Isn't that exactly what you would say if you could hold your dreams and speak them? The song then talks about all these great fantastical things one would do for their wish, such as the lyrics, "If you're ever feeling like you're lost, I'll come find you, man all fronts. There's no ocean I won't swim across to be right by you, and not just once." The idea of writing a love song for a wish of all things is creative brilliance. And it's made even better when you consider why these two specific characters sing it. Asha loves these wishes because their wonder is unlike anything she's experienced before, and Magnifico loves them because he feels like he has ownership over them, keeping him in power, which is why he always refers to them as his wishes.
And it affected my wishes.
This wish is the film's obligatory I want song, but it's probably my favorite one that come from recent Disney films. The entire musical sequence is gorgeous. Ariana DeBose's singing performance is superlative and moving, and the song's flagship line is just so triumphant. "So I make this wish, to have something more for us than this." You could easily shorten this line to "So I wish for more than this," but I think every word here matters. Asha makes a wish because in this world, a wish is a physical item, and the movie views wishes not just as a verb but as a concrete, tangible thing. She wants something. Not a lot, just something. Because as she says so herself, she just wants her family's wishes to have a chance.
I just want their wishes to have a chance.
Nothing more than that. She says for us because she's singing about not just herself or her family, but about everyone in Roses. She wants more than this because the people of Roses have traded their dreams for a life of comfort, and they deserve more than that. They deserve to have a chance to have their wishes come true. There are plenty of other great songs in the film soundtrack. Actually, every single one is great. Even the credit song, A Wish Worth Making by Julia Michaels. And the sequences that follow them are all fantastically animated and wonderfully well done. The film is such a winner as both a musical and an animated title. And while Disney pretty much always nails it with their music, I'm really hoping we see more of this art style from them. Or at least films that experiment with style more and take advantage of being animated, and aren't just going for hyperrealism. I have no idea how Wish will be remembered in the future. It might pull in Encanto and become popular after its Disney Plus release, it might pull a Treasure Planet and become a cult favorite, or it might simply get forgotten by the masses. Who knows? What I do know is that Wish deeply resonated with me the first time I watched it, and even after multiple viewings, the film hasn't lost that charm for me, not in the slightest. Wish feels like a movie that's going to stick with me for a long, long time, reminding me throughout my adulthood how important it is to hold on to my passions and wishes, no matter how difficult life may become. I'm really hoping that if you haven't seen the movie yet, this video motivates you to let yourself be inspired by Disney's Wish too.